These are not AirPod Pros. No, I bought these from a young gentleman off a Facebook marketplace for a small sum of money. Now, I bought these knowing full well that they were most likely fake. But I did have the question, just how good of a fake are these? Today we're going to be unboxing this thing, taking a look at them and finding out just how far the Chinese market has gone to replicate these things to the real Apple AirPod Pros. Hello everybody, my name is Robert and this is Review Clue. So yes, I bought these and I know full well that they are fake. The reason I know they are fake is because I took them to an Apple store to actually get them checked. I was that convinced these things were potentially real, and it may surprise you just how good these really are. Of course, I do not recommend buying counterfeit products, especially of these, because you're giving money to the wrong people. If you really want a pair of these, buy them directly from Apple or an authorized reseller. I know they may be a little bit more expensive, but at least you know you're getting the authentic thing. Without further ado, let's get these onto the table and take a look at that box. Okay, so here we are with the box. Now, straight away, looking at this image on the front, it looks pretty good. It is embossed just like the real box should be. But when we take a little bit of a closer look, we can see that that's not a particularly good print on there. That should have been my first warning sign. It's the first thing that you guys should look out for when you're buying these as well. The print won't look exactly right. As we take a look at the top of the box here, we can see AirPod Pros and the wireless charging case. This text I did check, it actually looks to be like the real text, exactly like it is on the Apple box. Taking a look, we have the Apple logo each side, which again looks pretty legitimate. Along the bottom, things get a little bit more interesting. We can actually see that there are two separate stickers here. When buying a legitimate pair of AirPods Pros, you will receive the two sticker design. Sometimes you might get one sticker on these fakes, that's when you know they are real fakes. Now, let's take a look here, this serial number. There is a serial number on this box. Typing that serial number in on Apple's website will present you that these are real legitimate AirPod Pros. And all they've managed to do is copy the serial numbers from a real pair and stick them on maybe 10,000 fake pairs, like these ones. But yeah, that's something to look out for. They do have a legitimate serial number here. The barcode, again, is legitimate. That is the real barcode for the AirPods Pros. And again, we have the model number up here. The model numbers are all legitimate. We have our text on this side. The text that we read here, there doesn't appear to be any spelling or grammatical errors. That's something else to look out for when you're buying fakes. But this seems pretty good. This is the exact text that you would see on the real box. One thing to note, there are some stickers missing along the bottom here. There should be some logos for FCC labels and so on and so forth. There are none of those here, so that again should have been a big warning sign for me. Looking at the back of the box, we do see the AirPods case here. That is a particularly bad image. It looks very grainy, very washed out. That is not how it should look. We do have some of the logos and we've got the Apple name here as well as their Cupertino offices. So yeah, the box did look pretty good at first and I was convinced. Opening up that box, I was even more convinced when I saw this. This is the Designed by Apple in California case. Inside of here, we have a few bits of paperwork. AirPods Pros, and exactly how we would go about connecting these up to iOS. This is exactly what we should see when we're opening up one of these. This is legitimate paperwork. Again, there doesn't appear to be any kind of spelling or grammatical errors here. Same with all the warranty information. All of that seems pretty legit. So let's take all of that off to the side and we see the AirPods case. I'm going to drop it off to the side and we'll take a really good look at that in a little bit. This is actually plastic. The real AirPods case, I don't believe, has the plastic lining on the inside. I think it's probably card. So that's something else to look out for. We do, of course, get a pretty badly put together cable. I haven't actually opened this cable, so let's take a look at it and see if this is a real Apple cable. Doubt it, but you never know. Let's just pull all of this out. Same with this side. So this is a USB-C to a Lightning. That is normally what you would get with AirPods Pros, and again, looks pretty good, to be honest. I think that's a pretty legitimate cable. Not sure it's actually official Apple, but it looks legitimate. And finally, we have these little things. This again is the proper packaging. This is how you would get them from Apple, and you've got a few different sizes of earbuds. Ironically though, I actually couldn't get the earbuds to come off of the Pros. We'll take a look at them in a second. So I actually couldn't replace these, but they give you them in the box, so I suppose that's nice. Let's get everything back in this box, push it off to the side, and we will take a little bit of a closer look at that case. So as we can see from the front here, we do have that little light, and that light will light up green when we open up the case. That's pretty normal. Looking on the back, there is the hinge here. Something to note about this hinge is actually the tolerances for this hinge appear to be better here than they are on the real AirPods Pro case. The AirPods Pro case has, the official one, has a little bit of give on it, which we don't see as much here. There is no space between the actual hinge. Underneath there is some text. This is the legitimate text you would see on the real ones, as well as a pairing button. And obviously on the bottom, we see the Lightning port. Now, sometimes with these fakes, when you plug it in, you'll notice that they don't sit flush or they wobble about a bit. This is not the case with this fake. This is fitting quite snugly and appears to feel like it should do. So, of course, I now need to open up this case. As soon as I do that, my phone is going to start to go off because they're paired with my phone. So let's disable Bluetooth on my phone and we'll take a really quick look at what's inside of this case. Now is a great time to say that if this is the first time that you're seeing my face on your screen, then 1, lucky you, and 2, go down there, hit the subscribe button, smash that bell notification icon so you get notified every time I upload. So I've actually had to open up the case because even though I had Bluetooth turned off, they still connected automatically. I'm going to drop the buds off to the side for now, and we can take a look at the case. I don't know if this picks up very well on the camera here. Let's do it this way. We can see that here there is a serial number and a model number. Again, these are legitimate. The serial number that's printed on this case is exactly the same serial number that you'll see on the settings app, and exactly the same serial number we see on the bottom of the box here. They've done a really good job at faking the serial numbers across all of these devices. Now, as we open these up again, we can see that hinge once more, and also where the AirPods will actually sit. The case itself has a pretty good tolerance for its hinge, but when I looked at these, I could almost instantly tell that these are not legitimate. These don't feel quite right, and the earbuds just don't sit quite right inside of them. But let's drop the case off to the side and take a look at actually one of these buds. Okay, so here we are with the actual bud. Now we can see on the bottom that particularly with the R and the L, these do not look correct. That was the biggest giveaway for the woman in the Apple Store, that these are not legitimate. The right and the left text is significantly different. The font just is not the same. Apart from that, though, they appear to look pretty good. Here's what I mean about the earbuds just not coming off. I can't get the... I actually can't get this bud off, so I don't know whether it's meant to come off or whether it was one size fits all. I suspect that it is just one size fits all. We do see the grill here. Sometimes when you've got these, the grill will look like a sticker. That's not the case here. This is a genuine grill, and we have the sensor on the bottom here as well, which is also just another little grill. In general, they look like AirPods should. If maybe slightly disproportional. We actually do have as well, which is pretty interesting, the little buttons here, I don't know if you can hear that, but they are actually capacitive buttons. They aren't they aren't clickable buttons, they are capacitive, just like they are on the real AirPods Pros. Now, here's where things started getting a bit weird for me. I put these in my ear and I tapped them once, thinking it would turn on to pass-through or active noise cancelling. When I went into the settings app and took a look, I could see that I was in active noise cancelling and pass-through mode. But there was one problem. It sounded exactly the same as it would by having them in not those modes, in just the standard mode. It appears that they did so well at faking these things, they didn't even bother to fake the ANC and the pass-through modes, which is an interesting choice considering how far they actually went with faking these. On a software level, these genuinely believe that they are AirPods Pros, and I'll show you what I mean right now by putting on the screen just some of that pairing process and going into the settings to show you it all. So as soon as I open up the case, we can actually see on the phone it shows Robert's AirPods Pros. If I completely reset these and pair them again with my phone, we'll see a couple of things. Straight away, it's going to tell me how to use the AirPods Pros by pressing that button to change to ANC mode and pass-through. Also 3D audio. These, strangely enough, do not support 3D audio, but it still gives you the prompt to actually try them out. So that I thought that was pretty interesting as well. As soon as we open up the settings though, we see something quite interesting. This case has to be open for these AirPods to show up under the About My Phone section. As soon as you close the case, they disappear from there. But you can still access all of the same data through the Bluetooth settings and choosing these. As we can see, there is one glaring difference here, and that is the model number. These show up as the A3000. That's not the case. This is the real model number. So if you see A3000, you've been scammed. But anyway, that's besides the point. Serial numbers, again, they all show up as legitimate on the Apple website, especially for the left and the right buds as well. And even the version number here for the software, this is the latest software that's available for the AirPods Pros. They have done a very, very good job at faking almost all of the software and hardware. But they did cut some corners, especially with that active noise cancelling and with the pass-through. But how do these things actually sound? Well, actually very good. I was surprised. I put these in my ear and I really couldn't tell the difference between these and a legitimate pair. I have tried out a legitimate pair and I've been using them for a little while, but these sound almost identical. And that's scary. These cost me, I'm going to say under £50. I'm not going to tell you how much I really paid, but under £50. The real ones are £200. These sound almost identical, the only difference being that we have the ANC mode and we have the pass-through. Even if you wanted to buy these instead of the standard AirPods, you are still getting an incredible deal because the sound is actually passable. So let's go ahead and pop them back in the case and you'll see what I mean by the tolerances being slightly off on this case. So as I slide them in, again, my phone went mental as I slid these in and it decided it wanted to connect. But anyway, we can see that, especially down this side, these are not as flush as they should be with the real case. That should be the biggest giveaway to you that these are fake. That and them actually showing as the A3000s. Strangely though, on each of these buds and on the case itself, the model numbers are all correct. It's just in software that they're showing up incorrectly, which is strange. You'd have thought they'd have finished up the job and actually given it the real product number. But anyway, this case also does wireless charge. This case wireless charges very well. It's pretty fast and is almost identical to Apple's. You're seeing a theme here, right? This under £50 is a very, very good fake. But that's just what it is, a fake. You should not buy these. I'm going to say it again and again and again until people listen. Do not buy these fakes. They are all over Facebook Marketplace, and if you're going to buy AirPods Pros from the marketplace, even if you're paying the legitimate price for them, they are 99% not going to be real, and you're going to end up with something like this. Slightly disappointing, but you probably still have a good listening experience with them. You'll just be missing some of those software features. So let's jump back to me for a little bit of an outro. So there we have it, guys. These have been the fake AirPods Pros. So were you convinced? Did you really think that these looked legitimate? Because in my eyes, these looked very, very legitimate and felt pretty legitimate, bar those missing features. Have you ever been scammed and bought a pair of fakes? Let me know in the comment section down below. And of course, my name's been Robert. This has been Review Clue, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.